שיר אחר.
הדליקו אור ברחובות, בשיר זמרו בעיר. מחר על פני כל התקוות, יפציע יום בהיר. משובחים יגביה אז, ריבויון לבן. ושמש נקיעה מפז, תקרא מתוך ענן. שלום, שלום, שלום על ישראל, אמרו שירי הלל. שלום, שלום על ישראל, שלום, 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 שלום על ישראל. שיעיר יום של זהב, בהר וברמה, פתחו את כל חגור הקרב בשדות המלחמה. עטו זרים על בגוון ובואו בשירה, עם נערות הקרב כולן לעיר המוארה. שלום, שלום, שלום על ישראל, אמרו שירי הלל. שלום, שלום על ישראל, שלום, שלום, שלום על ישראל. שלום, שלום, שלום על ישראל, אמרו שירי הלל. שלום, שלום על ישראל, שלום, שלום, שלום על ישראל. שלום, שלום, שלום על ישראל. שלום, שלום, שלום על ישראל.
Glad I didn't know that when I was singing.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome to our Shabbat evening service. Welcome to everybody who's joining us via our live stream YouTube page, and we're thrilled to be able to be together on this really wonderful Shabbat evening. We'll begin and we'll ask Jesse to light our Shabbat candles on page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom, and we hope that you, if you're at home and you're lighting candles, that we wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. And we'll begin together on page 10.
Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services. But I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. And we continue on page 20 as we join in Lecha Dodi as we welcome our Shabbat bride.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Yishiyanu el havyuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, Hashem ul tiferet ve'litila. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela.
Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor ha'beracha v'rosh mikerem nesucha sof ma'aseh v'machshava dechila
Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mekabela.
Boi v'shalom atet b'alai Gam b'simcha u'b'tzorah Toch emunei segula Boi kala
Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat b'nei Shabbat mekabela. This has been both a great beginning to Shabbat and also a very difficult day. This afternoon we buried one of the temple treasures, a true leader of our congregation, Lisa Chinsky. Many of you, I'm sure, were on that live Zoom or that YouTube live and participated in the service. And it is hard for us now to shift our gears and welcome that sense of joy of Shabbat. But I think that that's what Lisa would want us to do, would want us to be able to be here in this special place that she worked along with so many others to make happen, to be here and to celebrate Shabbat together. Because there is no better way that we can honor her memory than to celebrate in the place in which she helped build. And so as we turn together to Shalom Aleichem on page 24, that song that talks about granting us peace, may we all be granted the peace of sense of wholeness that we can hold in our hearts. And so we say, Shalom Aleichem to all of you, may peace be on all of you. And the response is, Alechem Shalom, and may on you, may there be peace.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ba'achem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We turn together to page 26 and join in Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'amad yivarach yirotei ve'yamlich malchutei.
B'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayedecho Beit Yisrael. Bagala, uvizman ka'ariv, bimeru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach, ve'alam olal me'al maya, yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishabach, v'yitbar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemir kudeshah
Borichu.
Leila min kol birchata v'shirata,
Tushbechata v'nechemata,
damiran be'ama, Bimaru, amen.
And on page 28, we join in Baruch.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed. And on page 30, we join in Ma'ariv Aravim, speaking of the wonderful creation of the world, these stars in the heavens and all their constellations. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Asher Bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, B'chokhma Poteach Sha'arim, Uvitvuna Meshane Itim, Umachalif et Hazmanim, Umesader et HaKochavim, B'mishmerotehem B'rakia Kirtzono. Borei Yom V'Layla Golel Or Mipnei Choshech V'Choshech Mipnei Or Uma'avir Yom Umevi Layla Umavdil Ben Yom Uvein Layla Adonai Tzvaot Shemo El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Leolam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Everlasting love you have offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Ahavat olam, made Israel, Amcha avta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadata, Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbenu, Uvkumeinu nasiach v'chukecha, V'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha, U'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, Ki hem chayeinu, Ve'orech yameinu, Uvahem negei yomam v'layla, Negei ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
We turn together to page 34. Those familiar words of the Shema, which says, "Listen, Israel, God is one." And as we join together in them this evening, I encourage you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and clear your thoughts. Just let your mind wander. And as we hear that familiar tune, those words which have been on our lips for thousands of years, those words which have guided and given us direction, given us the opportunity to think of God in this way, in our own unique and distinct way as a Jewish community. And so we thank God for the blessings that we have to be together. And we think of God as one.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vayed.
On the following page, we join in V'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, ושבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ושכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, הייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם,
Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 41. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו,
Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef eleh. Nora tehilot osef eleh. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Page 42. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, and for your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. God, our going and our coming, to life and to peace evermore.
Baruch atah Adonai habarei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai haborei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael.
Page 45. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable, without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'torotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'torotam berit olam. Beni uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'torotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'torotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Page 47. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Adonai sefatai tiftach, ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open our lips, that our mouths may declare your praise.
Adonai, sivatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chazdei Avot v'imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei v'neihem, V'man Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav v'Hoshia.
Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha bagevurot, Umidom melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua.
V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, v'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, light lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Find favor, Adonai our God, with your people Israel, and accept our prayer with love. May the worship of your people Israel always be acceptable. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants. Pour out your Spirit upon us.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam ve'ahava tikabel u'tehi ratzon Tamir avodat Yisrael Yisrael amecha El korov lecha korav penei El avadecha lechanenu Shefach ruach aleinu v'techezin einenu meshuvecha leTzion ברחמים ברוך אתה אדוני המחזיר שכינתו לציון לציון
Page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lachad na'eh lehodot. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace and its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship that among the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace.
Shalom Ra Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Ra Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Ki ata Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom Ki ata Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom Shalom Ra Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Ra Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
We take a few moments and we leave our prayer books aside and we look inward. Inward to our own hearts, our own thoughts. Inwards to those prayers that are silent prayers, those prayers that we want to say that are just between us and God. So we take a few moments for silent prayer.
Ratzon imrefi, ratzon imrefi, legion libi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri v'goli. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart, be acceptable before you, oh Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Oh, say shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, ve'imeru. Amen.
We take some time and call to mind all those members of our community, our friends, our families, people that we know, people that we don't even know, but who are in need of a blessing of healing. There is so much pain in the world. Many of us, especially today, feel the deep and heavy pain of grief and mourning. And we ask God to give us that strength to help us as we come to terms with those moments, and to help heal us and heal our community. And we think of all those who are in need of healing, especially those affected by our coronavirus pandemic, those medical professionals who work tirelessly to keep us healthy, and all those who are facing an illness of any kind, whether it is an illness of the mind, the body, the heart, the spirit. And we mentioned Joan Harf, Francis Miller, Emily Bostwick, Fran Porras, Carol Love, Ruth Wadley, Kevin Hicks, Sandra French, Michael Brumberger, Sean Brumberger, Richard Sharon, Debbie Perry, Judy Bodnar, Holly Arison, Eric Perry, Judith Goldman, Myrna Urkov, Scott Gordon, Ava Dakar, and Dane Markanowski. If you have another name that you would like to add, please add it into our chat box. And this evening, I want to share with you a video of Misha Berach that we have seen before. But I think that because of its power, it is worth seeing again. It comes to us from the Zemer choir, the choir that comes out of Israel and is a way for us to connect with all of those in the world who are in distress and in need of healing, and we connect our voices to theirs as we join back, we reach back through the generations all the way back to Moses, who, when faced with his sister's illness, says, Elna Rafanallah, please God, heal her.
רפאנו אדוני ונרפא, הושיענו וניוושע, אל קרוב לכל קורב, אך קרוב לרעב אישו. We pray for healing of the body. We pray for healing of the soul, for strength of flesh and mind and spirit. We pray to us again, and
Oh, please.
please heal us now. רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, רפואה שלמה, אלה לפניו. Oh, please heal us, please heal us.
רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, רפואה שלמה.
Heal us now. Heal us now. Heal us now. Heal us now. הושיע את עמך וברך את נחלתך, ורם ונשם העולם. מי שברך אבותינו, מי שברך אמותינו, אנא אדוני הושיענה. We pray for healing of our people. We pray for healing of the land, and peace for every race and nation, every child, every woman, every man. And oh, please heal us now. Please heal us
Heal us now.
Heal us now. Heal us now. Heal us now.
This week is going to be interesting. This is going to be an interesting week for lots of reasons. Predominantly, by the time next Shabbat rolls around, we may know who the next president is going to be. We may not. We'll see. If we take a look at this week's Torah portion, it begins with the story of Abraham and Sarah being told to go, leave everything that they're familiar with. It says, Vayomer Adonai el Avram. God spoke to Avram and said, Lech lecha, get going. Me'artzacha, from your land. Umimuladetecha, from your birthplace. Umibeit avicha, from the house of your father, your parents. And where was Abraham and Sarah supposed to go? El haaretz asher areka, to the land that I will show you. You see, it wasn't enough that Abraham and Sarah were going to be the leaders of the Jewish people. They needed to take action. And this phrase, lech lecha, is a powerful one. Hebrew has a multitude of kind of nuances and meanings, and this phrase can mean a few different things. It can mean lech, which means to go, and lecha is for you, so it can go for your sake. Hebrew also can use a verb twice as a way of saying, in a sense of urgency, lech, lech, you have to go. It just matters where you place some of the different vowels, which of course aren't in the Torah. And so I think for us this week, that urgency is there as well. That urgency is there as well for us to go out. If you haven't voted yet, please vote. Lech lecha, or lech lech, both. Vote for our own sakes, and vote now. Don't wait. There are so many parts of, and I'm not going to comment on which candidate or who or politics or whatever, I'll leave that aside. Everybody has their own ideas, and there are people far more knowledgeable and far better to make political statements than I am. But what I know is the importance of making that choice, the importance of going and making that vote. And we have, as a congregation, been involved with encouraging people to go out and vote through the establishment of the Pennsylvania chapter, the Religious Action Center, through our Union for Reform Judaism in Washington, D.C. And our goal is to get people to understand that we can't change, we can't make a change, or we can't make our voices heard if we don't get out there and make that choice. But that also relates to something more difficult that we're facing, which is the rising numbers of our pandemic and the virus. And there too, we have to lech lecha, we have to get going for our own sake. And here I don't have to be, this is not political, this is simply straight. This is, we have to do what we can to help curb and protect each other, to wear our masks when we're in public, to do what we can to make sure that people are safe. People say to me regularly, when are we opening temple? I want to come back. We do too. But we have to come back safely, and in a time when we can all be safe. And so for now, lech lecha, go out, do what we need to do. Do what we need to do. We have to leave what's comfortable, just as Abraham and Sarah had to leave what was comfortable and known to them, and do what's right, so that we can take on that sense of leadership and follow in their footsteps. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. We're going to turn together to Aleinu, which can be found on page 282.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגוהר עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ועושר הארץ, ומושבי קרוב בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו. וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, בארץ מתוך התהילות. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear. But if we dwell too long on our loss, we embitter our hearts and harm ourselves and those around us. The psalmist said that in his affliction he learned the law of God. And in truth, grief is a great teacher when it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silence in their presence and when a word will assure them of our love and concern. Thus, even when they are gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as in their higher moments they themselves wish to live. We remember all those who we have lost, especially those for whom we're in the middle of the period of Shiva, Lisa Chinsky, and we send condolences to all of her family and friends and everybody who joined us this afternoon and all of us here at Temple. She will be sorely missed by us all. We are in the period of Shloshim for Jack J. Levy, Abe Goldstein, and Karen Vidmar Crow. And we observe the following yahrzeits on this Shabbat: Rudolph Voss, Isidore Sobel, Milton Nadworny, William S. Rich, Benedict Levy, Jane Kramer Buchanan, Herman Herskovitz, Emma Voss, Milton L. Tannenbaum, Mina Eisenberg, Sam Mandel, Joseph Pessin, Isidore Rossen, and Miriam Sunstein. If you have other names that you would like to add, please add them into our chat box. As we turn together as a community, we go to page 294 as we join in the words of Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divrach rutev yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'izman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach la'alam u'larmeh almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. There are a few announcements. First of all, we hope that tomorrow morning you'll join us for our Torah study on via Zoom. It'll be a great opportunity to delve into that Torah portion and have a great conversation with all the other people who are studying together and really bring new light and new meaning to the text. You don't have to have read it before. Please just hop on and join us. Saturday evening and Sunday evening, we will be observing Shiva with the Chinsky family via Zoom, and that information was sent out. If you need that again, please send a message to me. Sunday, we continue with our Gesher classes, and Wednesday with our Insights to Judaism, and we hope that right after the service, you'll join us for a little Zoom oneg, a chance to connect and say hello, and be with other members of Temple. And we're going to conclude with
Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom. May we all be blessed with peace.
Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Stay safe. Take care.